Hey, want to welcome you to today's class. Today, we'll be looking at system analysis and design. System analysis and design. And to begin, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please try and subscribe. Click like and share. Okay. Under Introduction to System Analysis and Design, we said we will talk about the definition. We'll also talk about the purpose of system analysis and design. We will talk about key roles in system analysis and design. And then we will talk about the importance of system analysis and design. So let's go into definition. System analysis and design refers to the process of studying and understanding and improving a business system. Very, very key elements as process of what? Studying, understanding, and then improving a business process and information system through a structured methodology. It involves analyzing a system's component and requirement and designing solutions to meet organizational goals. Okay, so we are trying to look at the process where you see an existing system and you want to improve it. And then you will have to study it to improve it and then look at where there are problems, there are loopholes, and see how you can make better of. Or you want to set up a new business and then you have to study what that business is all about and then see how you can bring it up. So what's the purpose of system analysis and design? Why do you need to do system analysis and design when you are setting up a new business or when you are improving a new business? Number one, it helps you to identify problems and opportunities within the existing system. You have an existing system, an organization, or a business, or an agency, or an institution that is currently running. And so you run a system analysis to understand the problems that are there. Okay. The second reason is to develop solutions to improve this particular process. Thirdly, is to help you facilitate new design of a system or even enhance an existing one. So if you are starting a new system or a new business or setting up a new organization, system analysis can help you. And then the fourth purpose is to ensure system aligns with the organizational goals and objectives, and then also the user requirement. What are the key roles in system analysis and design? All right, we have the system analyst. The system analyst actually acts as a bridge between the users and developers, and also analyzing business needs and creating design solutions. That's what the analyst is. If you look at the concept of analysis, an analysis simply means examination. It simply means studying. It simply means taking a closer look. Okay, so a system analyst is someone that bridges between these users and these developers that examine either the existing business or a new one and then see how they can put in the nitty-gritty together to give you what you need. Another role is the developers, and the developers are people that help to implement the proposed system, because after you have finished designing, then you will need to implement it. Then you have the end users. The end users use the system and provide feedback for improvement. Okay, so those are the key roles. What about the importance of system analysis and design? Number one, it ensures efficient and effective system. That is after you have developed it. Then it reduces developmental cost and also errors. Number 3, it enhances user satisfaction. And number 4, it helps organizations to adapt to technological changes. What are the fundamentals of a system? We're going to, under the fundamentals, we'll be looking at the concept of the definition of a system, some of the characteristics of a system, types of system, and then components of information systems. These are some of the fundamentals that we need to know. So let's go into it. A system is a set of integrated components, very key, working together to achieve a common goal. System can be physical or abstract. When we say physical, maybe like machinery; abstract, maybe a software or a concept, something like that. Okay, but the key element is that it is integrated components that are working together. An institution can be a system. A department can be a system. A company can be a system. A supermarket can be a system. Okay, a computer can be a system. Okay, so but when you have different components that are working together to achieve a particular goal, that gives you a system. So what are the characteristics of a system? Number 1, components. Okay, system consists of integrated parts. Okay, meaning that you have different parts that are working together according to a plan in order to help you achieve this particular goal. So these various components, in terms of a computer system, you have maybe the input devices, the output devices, the processing devices, and things like that. In terms of maybe an institution, maybe you have faculties, you have directories, you have departments, you have agencies, you have different areas. In terms of a company, you have maybe the production department, you have the sales, the marketing, you have the human resource, you have the executive, and so on and so forth. Okay, but they are all different components that work together, but they are kind of interrelated. The second characteristic is boundary. Boundary defines the scope of the system. It tells you what is inside of the system and what is outside of the system. That is the boundary, okay? Tells you that this system begins from this point and then closes at this point. Then another concept of the boundary, it also tells you what is outside of its environment, okay? That's the boundary. Now, environment is like the external factors that influences the system. So everything that is outside of the boundary is the environment. And it also influences the system because they come in as input into the boundary, or they go out from inside the system outside to the environment. That's where you have the concept of input and output as also part of the characteristics. And they are the data or the material that are entering or leaving the system. Okay, you have feedback. Feedback is a mechanism for controlling the system performance. Then you have the goals. Okay, system operates to achieve defined objectives. What are the types of systems? We have open systems which interacts with the environment, such as businesses, okay? Then you have closed systems that does not interact with the environment at all. Example is where you have like a chemical reaction, where you go to a lab and then there's a test tube and then you have some chemicals and then they do not interact with the environment. Okay, then you have information system. Information system collects, process, and store and also distribute information. Okay, then those are types of system. You also have the manual system and then the automated system. The manual systems are the systems that are performed manually by human. Okay, the automated system does not require human hands or to operate it. Is usually executed by machines. Okay. So what are the components of information system? Because now we're looking at information system as types of systems, right? So some of the components include the hardware, the software, the data, the people, and then the processes. Okay, that's information system where you have hardware, software, data, people, processes that interact or correlate in order to process and give out desired results. The third phase, sorry, is the process of system development, right? Process of system development. We're going to look at what is the system development life cycle and then the phases of the system development life cycle. Now, system development life cycle provides a structured approach to system development. It involves several stages, ensuring systems are developed efficiently and meet organizational requirements. Okay, that is the system development life cycle. Okay, and the phases of that life cycle include the planning phase, the analysis phase, the design phase, the implementation phase, the development phase or deployment phase, then you have the maintenance phase. These are the phases of system development life cycle. So let's look at each of these phases one after the other. On the planning stage, first of all, you identify the problem, or the opportunity that exists. Then after that, you then define the project scope and objective. After doing that, then you conduct feasibility analysis. All right. Technical, finance, and operational feasibility. You conduct that. Once you do that, all these things are within the planning stage, right? The analysis stage actually talks about studying the existing system to identify issues. Maybe there's an existing system or an existing organization. You have to study to identify the current issues. After doing that, then you gather requirements from stakeholders. Okay. Stakeholders are people or devices or elements that play a key role in helping you manipulate data. So you gather requirement and information. Then you have the last one. It says use tools like flow diagrams, data flow diagrams, or entry relationship diagrams to do the relationship. Okay, that is the analysis stage. After the analysis stage is the design stage. The design stage, the design phase. In the design phase, you create the system architecture. After that, then you design user interfaces, databases, and system processes. Okay, you do that. After that, you go to the implementation phase. And in the implementation phase, you develop the system coding. This is where you now program what you have proposed, the new system that you are working on. You also conduct testing to ensure that the system works as expected after the design. So once it is ready, then you now deploy that particular system. And to deploy the system, you have to install and integrate the system into that particular organization. And then you can now provide user training and documentation for that particular system. After doing that, the last one is you now do maintenance. And in the maintenance, you monitor the system performance, you fix bugs, introduce necessary updates, and so on and so forth. This is basically because as the system is being put into use, there are certain things that probably may come up, okay? The fourth destiny is approaches for development of information system. We're going to be looking at 5 different approaches. We'll look at the waterfall model, the prototyping, the agile development, the rapid application development, and the spiral model. So let's look at them. The waterfall model. So sequential step-by-step development is one of the key elements in the waterfall model. All right. So each phase must be completed before you move to the next. That is why it's called a sequential step-by-step. You have to complete the first phase before you move to the next one. And the advantage is simple and easy to manage. Because if there is a problem in the first phase, you must have to solve it before you go into the next phase. The disadvantage is that it's inflexible. All right. It does not handle challenging requirements very, very well. That is the waterfall. The prototyping model builds a working model for that particular system quickly to gather user feedback. Okay. So when they gather that feedback, they refine the prototype iteratively until the final system is ready. That means over and over, they refine the prototype over and over. In other words, if they get the feedback, we change it. If this one does not fit it, we change it again. We keep making adjustment and changes until we get what we need. And the advantage is that it has high user involvement because the prototyping involves the users, okay? And the disadvantage is that it can be time consuming, all right? It can be time consuming. The third model is the agile development, and it focuses on incremental and iterative development. Iterative development means like something like a loop, something that goes over and over and over and over. So it focuses on incremental and iterative incremental development. So it delivers small but functional portions of the system in sprints, all right? And the advantage is that it's flexible to changes. It has fast delivery as well. And the disadvantage is that it requires active user involvement on it. Then you have the RAD, which is the rapid application development. And this uses prototyping and iterative development as well, okay? And it emphasizes on speed and user involvement. Then the fifth model is the spiral model. And in the spiral model, it combines the iterative and waterfall approaches and repeatedly refines the system design and functionality suitable for large, complex projects. All right. So in most big companies or big organizations, they use the spiral model for that. Now, let's look at application of system analysis and design in organizations and businesses. We're looking at it in our day-to-day lives, okay? And we'll look at it in the aspect of business process involvement. We'll look at it in the area of enterprise resource planning, in the area of customer relationship management, in the area of e-commerce solutions, in the area of data analysis and reporting systems, in the area of healthcare systems, in the area of banking and financial systems, and in the area of human resource management systems, okay? So let's look at it. System analysis and design is crucial for improving operational efficiency, decision-making, and competitiveness in organizations and businesses. And below are some of the key areas where system analysis and designs are applied. The number one area is applied in business process improvement. Okay, so organizations use system analysis and design to automate manual process and streamline operations. Example is replacing a manual inventory with an automated system. Or maybe you have a kiosk, or you have a supermarket, or you have a shop, okay? And then you usually use the manual method of keeping your records. Okay, if you sell this, you write it on a book and things like that. So how do you know when a particular item is finishing, and how do you do an analysis on which items is being purchased most frequently and things like that? Who are your frequent customers? What category are they? So it's kind of cumbersome to achieve that when you are running a manual system. But when you use system analysis and design, it helps you to automate this process and makes it very, very beautiful. The second area is enterprise resource planning, and that integrates core business processes like finance, human resource, and supply chain management. Okay, when you have maybe like a university, in a university, you have human resource where you have admin. Is that not so? You have finance where you have maybe your bursary or your finance department. You have your supply chain where you have stores that manages contracts and things like that, procurement. Okay, so you need system analysis and design to integrate it and automate the process. Or you have a hospital, for instance, and in the hospital, you have this particular setup. So it can happen in any sector, private or government sector, any sector that has to do with enterprise resource and planning. Then it also is beneficial in customer relationship management. Okay, so system analysis and design helps design systems that improve customer relations and satisfaction. Example are systems like Salesforce. If you know of Jumia or Konga or AliExpress or Alibaba, most of these they have your database because they may require you to sign up to their portal. So they have your information, and once in a while, they help to keep you informed. Even banks do that. They help to keep you informed, and most of these online sales, they keep track of the kind of things that you buy. And once they keep that, they run analysis, probably using an AI tool to help advertise those, customize their adverts to those to you based on those things that you like. Then we have the e-commerce solution. And in the e-commerce solutions, we're looking at organizations analyze requirements to design secure, user-friendly online platforms. Okay, like the ones I just talked about, like Jumia, like Konga, AliExpress, Amazon, and so on and so forth. So that is very excellent in that. Then we have the data analytics and reporting system. Businesses uses system analysis and design to develop system for data-driven decision making. Example is business intelligence tools like Tableau. All right. We're going to, when we're talking about, we're going to look at the topic, what do they call it? Data analytics essentials. And when we come to look at that particular topic, we'll look at a lot when it comes to Tableau. All right. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Then the healthcare system. All right. System analysis is applied to design hospital management systems, patient record systems, etc. Okay, we have some of these hospitals nowadays in Jos, in Abuja, in Lagos, and some of these big cities that run an application ICT-based softwares to manage their healthcare facilities. And so when patients go into the hospitals, they open a file with them online. And then when a doctor sees them, the doctor enters the record online. And when they are sent to the lab, the diagnostic center for test or whatever it is, the records are entered online and then everything. So it makes the system very, very efficient and things like that. And then we have the banking and financial system. And I tell you that banks use system analysis and design to design secure transaction systems and online banking platforms. All right. If you observe, you see them modifying and updating their mobile apps, their websites, their online platforms every now and then. Okay. And it is because they've carried out analysis and designs in some of these things to give them what they need. And then how about the human resource management system? All right. When you say human resource management system, we're talking about things like payroll, recruitment, performance, promotion of staff, discipline of staff, and everything that has to do with the staff from the point the staff is employed to the point the staff actually leaves the institution. All right. So that is a very, very key element where they use system analysis. So what are some of the benefits? This is when we are rounding up now. And rounding up, the benefit of system analysis and design in organizations include improved productivity and efficiency. Very, very well. And then enhance customer service, and then cost savings through automation, and then better resource management. Better resource management. If this lecture has been informative to you, you can subscribe, click the notification button, like, and also share it with your classmates so that we can get further. If you want to take on more studies, you can look at these references where we worked on to build these lecture notes. Okay. And then if you have questions, you can drop your questions in the comment section, and then I will attend to you on that. So thank you for being part of today's class. See you in the next class. Thank you.